Hi, it's Deb from Deb's Days Designs. I'm back today with another project for you. This one could be considered a Christmas project or maybe a winter project. It's a fun fabric snowflake, and bonus, no sewings involved. Before I get started, I publish new content frequently, so be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my Etsy shop, Deb's Days Designs, for plenty more holiday sewing and crafting projects. That's where you'll find the written version of this project with step-by-step instructions, photos, a link to this video tutorial, and with this pattern, you'll get the printable template. Alright, let's get this project started. Along with your regular sewing supplies for this project, you'll need 2 pieces of contrasting fabric, a paper-backed fusible web. I'm using the Ultra Hold, which is the no-sew kind. You'll need a ribbon for hanging, some hot glue, and the printable template. If you haven't picked up the pattern and you'd like to, I've added a link in the description below the video. First thing we need to do is work with one of our pieces of fabric and the heat and bond. Place the heat and bond with the shiny side facing down on the back side of one of those pieces of fabric. You're going to center it on the fabric. You'll notice there's a 1/4 inch all the way around. We want that on purpose, otherwise that heat and bond gets too close and then it'll either make a mess of your iron or a mess of your ironing surface. So be sure to follow the directions on the heat and bond to get that ironed on. And then go ahead and peel that off when it's cooled. You'll notice the fabric is shiny. So now we're going to grab our other piece of fabric and we're going to place it on that. We're going to make like a 2-sided sandwich here. So we have one fabric facing right side down, the other one facing right side up, and go ahead and iron those together. When you have that done, you're going to notice that the edges aren't ironed together. So we need to go ahead and trim all of that off. Go ahead and take off a 1/4 inch all the way around that piece of fabric, and then that'll give us the piece we need to work with. Then we're going to go ahead and grab our ruler and we're going to cut squares out of that fabric. As we work with this project, be sure to refer to the cutting measurements in your pattern. This size of fabric is going to make 9 of these squares. We won't need all 9, but we're going to have one set aside just in case we make a little mistake in our cutting. All right, when I have all 9 cut, we're going to go ahead and do some folding on these and some more cutting. So go ahead and fold it corner to corner. Kind of crease it if you can. It's kind of hard. It's a thicker fabric now. And then fold it up to the other corner. And then you'll notice we have a triangle. You'll notice we have the point over to the right. Place your template on the fold and cut it along the dotted lines. The one cut, the second cut, and then we're going to make a third one. And do the same with all of your squares. The reason we had an extra block is because sometimes that rotary cutter gets a little away from you and it just might cut through the edge. If that happens, we have one as a spare, just in case. When we have all 9 finished, we're going to go ahead and grab one of those and we're going to need our glue gun now. It's time for our glue. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the very tiny middle corner and we're going to fold it over and glue it. I kind of go back and forth and see which way I'm going to like it the best. Put a little dollop of glue right there on the point. And then you're going to overlap the point. Hold it down for just a moment while it cools. And then flip it over. And let's do that with the other side. Bring it over. The lines are kind of lined up. It almost looks like it's a crisscross there. It just makes it a little neater if we've kind of lined up those cuts. So get some glue there. Hold it. As soon as it's cooled, go ahead and flip it over and go the opposite way again. Overlap those points. And it kind of looks like an X. And then do that on the very last piece too. All right, one's done. We're going to continue to do that with the other 8. May not need all 9, but we're going to do it just in case. Start the middle of the second one the exact same way. Make sure you start with the same color. When you're done, you're going to have a pile of them. And now we're going to go ahead and line them up. I'm going to put the smaller side, the dark side to the left, and then the white, larger side to the right. I'm going to line them all up that way. It's going to make it easier when we put it together if we kind of get them organized right now. Go ahead and grab 2 of them. We're going to use the glue, and we're going to glue them together in the middle. We're going to make sure the blue and the white meet up right on that X that we had made. Put a glob of glue in there. Line them up. Hold it till it's cooled. Then we're going to attach them at the bottom. We're going to line up those points. Glob of glue. Hold it till it cools. Then add the next one. Make sure you have all the same colors going the same direction. If you notice, all my whites going to the right. Glue the middle. Hold it. Glue the bottom. And then continue gluing all the way around. I've gone ahead and stopped with 6. Since there are 6 points on a snowflake anyway, I decided to go ahead and take a look and see what that would look like if I just stopped right there with my 6. Now sometimes I'm happy with a 6, and sometimes I think, you know what, I need to put all 8 in there. Remember, we had that 9th one just as a hold, just in case we needed it. I don't think I want to use 8 this time, so I'm going to stick with 6, and that's totally okay. So go ahead and glue the middle section. The bottom's already glued together because it was glued as we were going around. Hold it till it cools. And then grab your ribbon. You could take a hole punch and punch a hole in the top there, but I prefer just feeding it on through. I usually just tie a knot, and then I'll just kind of feed that knot back into the snowflake so you can't really see it. Now, if you want to use 8 points, go ahead and do it. If you want to use all 9, go for it too. Either way, you're going to have a beautiful snowflake to decorate your home with all winter long. See you next time with another project.